Do I need to start grabbing sources from somewhere, Joe? I mean, like, are you posting them
Um,
somewhere and I can grab them?
yeah, you can grab them off of
Reddit?
our subreddit. They're
All right.
there.
Hello, everybody. Weebies Live. That's about the intro Twitch is going to
We
get.
bees
Weebies
live.
Live.
Weebies.
Uh,
This is now the Pokemon Go podcast that is supporting honeybees around the world, bringing awareness to this gross
Well, now
overreach.
that Toys R Us isn't using it anymore, we're actually going to have a backwards B instead of their backwards R, so it'll be Weebies Live.
uh,
It'll be apostrophe S or something.
where Amon can be Amon?
There you go.
Pokemon Go players have a better shot at catching shiny Pokemon.
Wait,
Really?
wait, that's the hell headline?
No, I
Uh,
was just looking at news articles. Um, it's a really bad headline. It says Pokemon Go players have a better shot at catching shiny Pokemon right now.
oh, right now. I thought I just
Oh,
stopped
right
that.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
It's talking about the Nidoran male showing up more frequently and having between that and the Alolan forms having all of these higher rates that you're catching them left and right. Isn't that how it works right now?
Yeah, right.
It's 1% better chance.
Right.
All right. Do we want to mention anything about Wizards Unite? Because here's an article talking about how it's not picking up steam like Pokemon Go.
I mean, it's Niantic, and it's something extra that we can kind of talk about. So
Okay.
I'd say yes, but Charles,
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
I can talk about my own experience with it, which is completely tapered off.
Oh, yeah. I dropped the second I realized the energy was like Pokeballs and you had to go spin it. I was like, I can't. I'm already doing enough work for one game.
I know exactly. Like
Yeah.
if you can make it so that when I spin a Pokestop, it gives me energy in one and balls in the other.
Yeah.
You know, like tie my two accounts together. I'm all in. Totally all
I
in.
was kind of sad I didn't expect it to, but I was kind of sad my plus didn't work with
I know.
Harry
That
Potter.
was- again, that'd be great, right? Just like have it, like, all right, if you've already got this, then we encourage players who want to do both. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about that because I think that would actually be uh, something
There's like
something cool.
there's
Hey,
one
Zenzalu.
person in a couple of the chat. There we go.
We're going outside to
Hey,
play
Zen.
pirates.
All right, I love you. Do you want to wave hi? Up to the
Use
camera.
all your fingers, kid. What are you? No, I was kidding.
Love you guys.
Where is promotion? There it is. Promotion.
Hi. We haven't started yet.
Um, we're gonna be coming in to get popsicles.
Yay, popsicles.
Popsicles. I want popsicles.
The rocket popsicles.
Oh,
those
those are the
Bomb
best. Yes.
There was a chorus of those are the best.
They're the best.
Yeah, so somebody will be running in to get them. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll try to make sure I mute my mic when it happens. They're going outside to do fireworks with neighbors.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Brian's noise sounds muffled.
Yeah,
I know it
it's
sounds-
the only thing we can try is if you wanted to close Zoom and come back in, but it's Zoom. It randomly picks a microphone. It's been doing that. I'm hoping they'll fix it in the next patch, but if not, we'll have to
Maybe
find
I'll
something else.
choose a different. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say maybe it looks like he was using a different camera. Or a microphone. I'm gonna switch to the stream mic, and then I'm gonna switch to the Heil again. Let's see if just resetting it does something. All right, so this is crummy room mic.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crummy. Now we should be back on the regular mic. Did it improve at all?
It sounds the same to me, but I don't know what's going through the stream.
It sounded pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds a little better. And I've got the bass basically pulled out of you guys, and it's all
Okay.
right. We'll do what we can.
Yeah. Zoom. Oh, Zoom.
This is our first problem they've had since we've subscribed to it. It's been
True.
a year or so.
Yeah.
I Nothing's perfect. Everything progresses, and sometimes patches put in bugs.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, the national holiday where we give our pets and vets freak out.
Totally true.
Oh man.
Yeah, I just wish the neighbors wouldn't get. Like go see a display somewhere. You don't have to put one on in your backyard illegally.
Well, they're legal here, so.
There's
Even the ones that go
semi-legal
off the
here.
ground?
I'm not sure to what extent they're
Yeah,
legal.
because we
here,
get the ones that don't leave the ground.
they're
We can
fairly
we can do
legal.
here. Wow.
So we have just a bunch of real basic ones, sparklers. There's a couple that
Yeah.
shoot up maybe 10 feet in the air. Nothing like no mortar
Mhm.
rounds or anything like that.
Oh yeah. I know those. Yeah, I know ones you're talking about.
Trying to see let's promote here. What time is it? Well, we're already live. I'm trying to. You know what? I'll do one on Facebook and then I'll be done. There's fireworks are somewhat legal here. I knew the ones that stand on the ground you could do for a while, and they start selling them at Walmart and everywhere. Apparently, my wife was telling me because somebody kept firing off the bigger ones that went in there. I was like, that's not legal. It's like, no, apparently Georgia passed it like a year or two ago that you could. I think it's because everybody drives to South Carolina and buy the rockets. They still do it. They just go spend the money in another state because you can get South Carolina in 2 hours from here, And so they're like, well, we want the money.
If you're going to do it anyway, we might as well get something for it.
Yeah. Although as a medic, I kind of disagree with it. It's very dangerous.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Do you get an EMT? Are you doing any EMT stuff tonight?
No, not tonight. If I were going to get back on the truck, tonight is not that night.
Yeah,
it's going to be hot out all night, and people are going to be getting really hurt and drunk.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Apparently, Paul wants you to check Facebook, Charles.
Okay, let me think. Which Facebook, Paul? As we all get quiet, waiting for the voice of God to answer us.
Pokemon
Go. Bam. Share now. Okay, so that's on our Facebook page. Oh, I will. I get.
Mommy, bruh.
That's. Oh, did you mean ban you? My bad. I'm sorry. No, I hit him up. Hammer's a wiffle bat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Nicole's she's doing her pre-med test or med entrance exam or whatever tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, so excited for her. Oh, I see it now. I was just promoting, dude. Doing my job, bro. All right, so we are live. Let me get this recording. And the recording there. Check, check. Yep. All right. Let's see. Make sure you can see that. All right. All right. So everybody, before we kick off the podcast, the way this works, if you're live, and if this is your first time, you don't know this, the rest of you know how you do this. If you hit exclamation point in the letter S and hit space, and then whatever you type after hitting space bar, you will submit a title for the show tonight. Zenzalo loves to spam, and it's a winning strategy. We've picked his titles more than once, but we vote for the titles after the podcast is done recording. And if you get the title of the show, you get your Twitch name put into the show, the artwork and the show notes as well. So there you go. Joe's title of Zinzaloo's is a spammer. Okay. All right. We got our notes. I didn't link them, but we got the speak pipe. We've already set the sound on that. Make sure everything's good. All right. And then, of course, we got the game up, and we can see it on stream. Okay. All right, everybody, here we go. Hello and welcome to the Pokemon GO Podcast, your number one source for news, reviews, tips, and technique.
Technique.
Tips and teeth.
Teeks. Welcome to
Tips
Welcome to
and treats?
Pokemon Go Tea Time with your host, Brian Ibbett. All right, try it again. Well, damn it. Hello and welcome to the Pokemon Go Podcast, your number one source for news, reviews, tips, and techniques to help you catch them all. I'm the rock out of podcasting, Charles McFall. Ride shotgun over there in the corner because, I don't know where shotgun rides anymore. Joe Ard.
Shotgun rides in the front, don't you know?
Okay. All right. Sure. Well, the man who finally is letting Joe come out of the trunk to ride shotgun, Brian Ibbett.
And you want to be my latex salesman. Hello. Hello.
So happy anniversary. And for everybody in the United States of America, happy 4th of July to everybody.
That's right.
As of this recording. Normally we don't date our recordings, but it is a special occasion on two folds there.
As Bill Pullman once said, today is the day we celebrate our independence from aliens.
I like the meme that's been going around. Make sure to leave out cookies and milk for Captain America, and it's 4th of July cookies. I thought that's awesome.
Nice,
That's
nice.
Thanks everybody for coming out for the show. Thank you everyone who downloads this. This is 3 years for us, not quite to the day, because it's July 6th. I think is the day that Pokemon Go released, and is right after that we started. So we just tie it right in. So. Happy anniversary to everybody. There is some cool events going on, and it is day one of Dortmund. Do we have, I'm jumping ahead, aren't I? Before we get to news. And here I did have a great segue, didn't get it done. Adventures of the week. Joe, I've been posting some adventures in the Discord, and I'm going to have to go remember what they are by looking in the Discord.
Remind me my adventures, please.
Yeah, that's my notepad now. Joe, what's your adventures this week?
It's been a really good week. So for the longest time, my work has had one Pokestop and 2 gyms. Well, one of the other Pokemon Go players decided that needed to change, and just recently got to the level sufficient enough in Ingress to start submitting points of interest.
Okay.
So he's been submitting stuff like crazy. To the point where now we have 3 gyms and 4 stops at my work now, and it's pretty nice. I'm liking it quite a bit.
So
now we just need to get one of those
Nice.
gyms to be an EX raid gym.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
And so he's essentially doing the backdoor method. Is that right? Like basically, he played enough Ingress to where he submits it. And if Ingress approves it, it typically, which means it's also benefiting Wizards Unite as well.
Yeah, some of them have moved over to Wizards Unite. Not all of them, though, actually.
Yeah, I was surprised. They're not as one-for-one as I would have expected. And even gyms nearby aren't automatically towers or whatever they're called. In Wizards Unite, like some of those just turn into greenhouses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yep. But yeah, so that's been awesome to have that there. I also managed to net myself a new shiny Pokemon. Got myself a shiny Groudon.
Nice.
That's awesome. Look at that guy.
Wow.
His IVs are 12, 15, 12. So I think that's 4%. So
yeah.
Not fantastic, but not half bad.
That's very cool.
And apparently, I'm ticking off Zenzaloo with that. He really wants a shiny Groudon.
That'll make Charles happy.
Are you ticking off who?
Zenzaloo. I mean, that person that died a while back.
Oh yeah, in memoriam.
Yep.
All right, that's my moment of silence for him. All right, but that's awesome, man. Green Groudon just rolls off the tongue, right?
Yup.
So that's all. So how many shinies does that roughly bring you to? If you have to look, we can come back to it.
Yeah, I'll have to take a gander. So why don't one of you do yours and I'll count it up.
Emmett, what you got?
I'll do mine. So not a lot of super adventurous stuff going on. However, I did fire up the gacha for the bike ride I did this last weekend. So I did the MS-150 ride. At least I did the first day of the MS-150 ride. Apparently I did it with the beginnings of a cold, because the second day that cold settled in and took me right out of the race, which there were a lot of people actually who missed day 2 of the MS-150. That's all right. Still raised a lot of money, and I'm doing a self-imposed makeup ride potentially this weekend to get 40 miles in and drive from one end of Denver to the other.
Yeah,
So
I saw your post, and I didn't know
Yeah.
which day that was because it was just Tina with Tina's encouragement and this and that. I'm not going to ride that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, I know how much you look forward to doing your ride.
Yeah, it is a killer. It is a brutal ride that does like I said, it's a 75-mile ride. So if you think about where you're at, draw a little line in the map on Google Maps or something, figure out something that's 75 miles away, and then imagine riding your bike that far, hills and all.
Wow.
There's some just killer hills that this year I didn't have to get off my bike at all. Managed to just trudge up some of those after a long ride. There's one that comes at the very end before you get into town and onto campus, and saw a lot of people walking their bikes on the side, and I was able to zip right past them. Well, I wouldn't say zip. I was able to move slightly faster than they were walking, staying in the lowest gear on my bike. But anyway, fired up the gotcha. I caught a ton of stuff, but the only one that I decided to keep, because I got no shinies during that whole thing, and I think it probably petered out about 2 hours into the ride, 5.5 hour ride. No shinies, but I did keep one. Hold on, I want to make sure I get, because I always get it confused with Shieldon. It is, because I've changed her name. Not Cherim. No, it's the other one, the SH one. Shiri. What the heck is that called? The pink one that
Nobody asked you, Sharon. That one?
Sharon.
This one?
Nope, not Cherim. Oh my God, can't believe I can't remember the name. I guess I'm already short timing, right? Shellos. Thank you very much. Yes. So I had a Shellos that I caught that was 150 CP exactly. So it's like, oh, well, this is it. I'm keeping this one. I'm going to rename it MS-150 and keep it as a remembrance of the weekend, which was still a great weekend. Like I said, our team raised $80,000 for multiple sclerosis research. 2 of the people that I rode with on Saturday rode with MS. One of those 2 people rode Sunday. One of them wasn't able to either. And it was a great time. It was a really good time. So, but no shinies. That was the part that was really bumming me out. Like, you're riding, you're doing all this constant catching with the gacha, and didn't catch a single shiny. So I don't think I've gotten any shinies since the Slack off. I'm gonna do a little search in here for shiny, because I didn't get any at GoFest either.
That's right. You're on a rut, man. We need to break out of that rut.
Oh, Kyogre. I did catch a shiny Kyogre during dinner raid night, and then a shiny cast form, and then we get into the Slackoths and the Torchics and Blazikens and stuff like that. So it has been a dry spell for shinies for me. I know.
So, yeah, and I didn't get out to do the Raikou raids this weekend. I was running a 101 fever.
Oh.
And it was my wife's birthday party, so I was a little preoccupied.
Yeah.
But as far as the previous question from Charles, how many shinies do I have? I have 91 shinies. 44 of which are non-community day shinies.
Man, that's awesome.
Jeez. Holy cow.
I just kind of want to give up now. It's like, holy cow, man. And that's
nothing compared to someone like Terry, who is sitting there while we're eating dinner, and he's like, oh, yeah, I just trash them all the time.
I know. I couldn't believe that. It's like, oh, dude, trashing shinies breaks my heart.
You don't let John Wick hear about that. He'll come hunt you down. You trash those dogs out, man.
He'll hunt you down with guns. Lots of guns.
And a telephone booth.
Right.
Well,
Tell us about your adventure, Charles.
uh,
Did you find it in your notes? Did you remember your adventure?
no, I remember what it was, and I do have some other things to show here on the screen in a second. But I Monday we went out to take my daughter to camp up in North Georgia, and I don't know if Angie listens, but I know she plays the game and has been a friend of mine for a while, and we're friends in the game. But Angie lives up that way, and I mean like because it's up in the North Georgia mountains, so it's almost a 2-hour ride from our house, and it's 10 minutes from her. So like, hey, come out and bring your nephew, and we'll hang out in the park. And she was playing Pokemon Go, and we did some trades. Actually, I got a lucky. Man, I forget. I got a lucky something from her. We made a lucky trade. Only my second lucky trade ever. Out of like 10 trades I've ever made in my Pokemon Go career. But she's like, hey, there's a Groudon right over here in about 10 minutes if you guys want to come. And we figured out that she had one account and I had mine and my daughter's phone. My daughter was at camp, but I had her phone, so I had her account. Then Erin had her old account. So that'd give us 4. And she's trying to get her nephew's account up, but it wouldn't load right. And we got there. And, of course, there were some people finishing up a raid. And we got Groudon down to maybe a quarter left and just couldn't do it. Time ran out.
Yeah.
But it was a fun experience. We went over and tried. And she was a one and done. She's like, oh, well, we didn't get – and I was thinking, we could take 5 more minutes to really get your nephew's – because he's apparently level 33 or something like that. And she was a level 30 or 32.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was – me, her, and if he had his account up, it would have been all over level 30. Then Aaron and Crosby were around level 20-ish, somewhere in there. So it would have balanced, I think. I don't know. But so I didn't get it.
You could have all set an empty team to give you all an extra few seconds.
Oh, yeah, right.
I explained that concept.
So you can set up pre-designated teams. So if you hit the Pokeball, hit Pokemon, and swipe to the side where you can set up your teams. Scroll down to the bottom.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the teams, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you
Create
set up
an
a
empty
team
one.
that's empty,
Okay.
so you make a team and you don't put any Pokemon in it, you use that at the start of a raid, and it'll automatically kick you out of the raid, and then you can join the raid. But what that does is most of the time, the raid sits there with the go words and it absorbs about 5 seconds of the raid.
Okay.
Well, if you put the empty team there and you let it kick you out and then you go in, you bypass the go and you save yourself about 3 seconds.
It eliminates the go and the countdown thing.
Oh, all right. Interesting. I don't know if it had been enough time, but I did not know that. And of course, I'm trying to be more active in Discord. Joe and I were talking on our trip, like we'd like a more active Discord community. And well, the only way to do that is get in there and seed it with stuff. And so I'm like, yeah, I battled a Magikarp raid the other day. And, I opened up my box and got a Latios this week. So I'm very happy. UPS, what can Brown do for you? Give me rare Pokemon, apparently. Which was very awesome. Which I freaked out, right? Because it was on the 1st of July, and I forget because I'm used to. I got to the end of the week, or because it takes me a little more than 7 days typically to finish my adventure quest, whatever it's called. And so I like, oh crap, I don't know what time this box rolls over, and I really really want the four that are going into it. I don't have, and I was like, but it was a Latios, so I was very happy. But then Terry's like, weak sauce. And so I'm like, well, I'm about to drive to do another event. And Joe's like, oh my God, who took over your body? What's going on, man? That's not what you do. So I don't know. It just felt right that, we had nothing better to do. Everybody was down to go play. And it was fun. It was fun to have all the family in there tapping. And they're like, is this it? This is what you do all day? I was like, yeah, I do some. No, not me. I don't raid. But yeah, that's what other people do. But then I got surprised with a couple of shinies. I know we said the Amper Bomb last week. Did I have Rose? No, I did have Rose Rates. I hadn't got anything new this week because those were last week's. But I'm up to almost having to scroll on my shinies. Was that 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14? I got 14. I'm proud.
Nice.
There you go.
And something that it makes sense once you think about it. It was something I learned this week that when you do a trade, you both have to have that level of stardust. I thought it was the person getting the big trade. Holy crap! They eat like 2 million stardust on
Mhm.
special. Wow, man, that's. I was thinking like, hey, if I'm sending you a big one, I need to have you need to have 1 million because essentially you're getting it from me. But I'm just sending it your way. And you're giving me a Pidgey or something,
Right.
But
Right.
no, apparently it's 1 million either way. So I've saved Angie a shiny something. I forget what she needed. I forget what she needed, but I named it after her. I saved it for her. So
It's almost as bad as the toll roads in Chicago.
yeah, no kidding. Whew. And I almost missed that, but that's neither here nor there. So of course. You're welcome to send us your experiences of the week. We'd love to hear it. We have the Discord group if you're a part of our Patreon, patreon.com/Pokemon Go Podcast. You can. Joe, do we have an experience of the week for him? Because maybe we should have one for Discord, and people just put it in there and we can grab it. Of
That'd be
course,
cool. A separate experience of the week channel.
yeah.
I will create one.
And that way, Ibit can still send us his experience. We
There
can
you
read
go.
it.
I could. Yeah. Exactly.
Of course, Facebook.com/Pokemon Go Podcast or email show at Pokemon Go Podcast. We'd love to have you do that. We've got some news, and I don't know if they're in any particular order. It doesn't look like. I'm not sure. Is this trade cost part of Dortmund, or can we just talk about Dortmund for a second? I don't think we have any news out of Dortmund, right?
The trade cost is part of Dortmund because it's all right.
Well, let's read that. So
specifically for Dortmund,
this is Dortmund's first day, and I don't think we got a full report on. There were still rumors on what they would have available, what the local was. So hit us, Joe. What's going on at Dortmund?
yeah. So right now, everyone has the 25% trade discount, but Dortmund, just like at Go Fest in Chicago, has the half price trades, but they don't get the additional 25% off on top of that. So, yeah, they're still getting the 50% off, but it's not taking
not stacked.
Yeah, it's not.
it's not taking into account the other events going on around them. So, but
I get, but they're also getting special locals and or regionals rather, and special catches. I'm sure they're getting unknowns. Do you know what their unknown says?
I do not yet.
Because that'd be an interesting thing.
Let me see if I can figure it out.
9.
It wouldn't surprise me if theirs said "wake up" as well, just because they also are getting Jirachi out of this.
Oh, that would make sense. And probably a few people end up going to both Chicago and Dortmund.
Yeah.
I imagine.
I guess
there's a
Jirachi will
hardcore
be
fan.
the legendary for each festival, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that would make sense.
Yeah. While you look that up, there is some shiny Nidoran running around. Now I'm clicking through to that. So we've got the artwork course at Pokemon Go Podcast. You can see the show notes, the podcast.com. You can see the show notes there, and on your podcatcher, you can see it, and we'll have the link there. So the normal, and it's the male Nidoran only, I believe.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be at Dortmund, according to Reddit. And the normal course is purple across the board, and the shiny is blue.
Yeah, the shiny looks.
But the female
very
is
similar
blue,
to
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
was really close. Yeah, see, I like it when they come on, make it pink. Although I guess it's closer than, I mean, it's more differentiated than some, but it looks more like, because isn't the Nidorina bluer than purple, or I'm trying to remember what the Nidorina.
you know what? I've got. I can show it. I think I can show it if I have one. Nid.
Yeah.
Okay, there she is. So it's
Or
like
Nidoran female.
The shiny is pink.
yeah.
Okay.
the-
So,
yeah.
but normally it's blue. It's the same light blue. So different looking Pokemon, but same color.
It's kind of a light purple. So
Yeah,
it's like
very.
Yeah.
it's similar.
Depending on which game you're playing, it actually looks very similar to the male coloration.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in Pokemon Go, it's more pink than the male version.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Right.
the yeah, just look for blue and look for the little star asterisks. That's your
Yeah,
best thing. So
right.
what'd you find, Joe?
As far as the unknown goes,
Yeah.
I I haven't seen anything definitive. People are expecting it to spell "wake up!" exclamation point. Oh, there's someone that's there that says they can confirm that it is spelling "wake up!" exclamation
It is
point.
wake up. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So same thing as we got in Chicago.
That makes sense.
Do the Russian unknowns have backwards R?
No, they spell you.
Do they have? Yeah. In Russia, unknowns spell you.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so apparently most of our headlines are going to be tech related to where we're like, issues are happening. But there's an in-app purchase issue for iOS users. And other than, like when Ibit and I both made the mistake on the show of, hey, they launched a patch, let's buy stuff, and we bought a whole bunch of stuff.
And, oh, this isn't working. It's not working. And then,
Yep.
okay, your bag is now as big as it'll get.
So this actually impacted someone in our Discord chat because
Oh.
the issue happened during the Reiku raid window for them. And so they were unable to
really?
purchase more raid passes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were planning on doing a bunch more than they had raid passes for, and were unable to because they couldn't purchase more raid passes.
Jeez.
All right. And apparently they're working on it, but we haven't heard that's been.
I think it's fixed by now. They acknowledged it yesterday. But yeah, I think it's fixed, but I could be wrong.
Well, be careful buying stuff. That's.
If
I
you're
mean,
not-
right
It
now.
just won't-
Yeah.
it won't go through.
So.
Is what the problem is.
Okay. Well, that's better than it didn't go through at all. Like you said, if it.
Yeah, exactly, like it did for us.
So.
Okay, guess I have every bag upgrade available now. That's cool. All right, good.
And then Android is actually, theirs is not so much an issue as far as they're just cutting off the older OSs.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, all software companies have to do this at some point and say, okay, we're not going to keep writing code and doing testing on old versions of the operating system. It's just a smart business sense,
Yeah. It's only so much.
Well,
you
and
can do.
especially since they're trying to be cutting edge with AR, they kind of need people to be on higher operating systems for their phones. So.
That's right. Good point.
And according to my game, me and Fabian M3 are now ultra friends.
Hey, congrats. Now you guys can remote battle, right?
I don't know. Is that what that means?
Uh-huh.
It does.
I thought it just
That's,
he gave me a key to his apartment and we're moving in together. I totally
It means
misunderstood.
you have to give him a ride to the airport.
Yeah,
when he
that's
wants
it.
one.
I got a dog sit for him.
Oh, we're ultra friends. Darn it, ride to the airport.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to talk about this next one because I just pulled up the list.
Go for it.
All right, so we've got the new special lure modules that have been around in the game for a couple months now, and we have a list of the Pokemon, according to Sylph Road, of which Pokemon are available from each of those special lure modules, which actually is going to come in handy if you're still working on older research tasks, older special quest lines, because that grassy one will pull up a Slugma, which you need for, I'm sorry, Gulpin, which you need for one of those older, I think it was the Mew, or not the Mew. It was one of the more recent ones, but obviously not Jirachi. Whichever one was between Mew and Jirachi. If Joe remembers.
Celebi?
Was it Celebi?
Celebi. It was Celebi, yes.
Okay. Which
requires you to have a Gulpin or catch Gulpins. So this is pretty helpful. So in your icy one, you've got Seal, you've got Shelder, Magikarp, Swinub, Angry Cat, Whale Monster.
Yeah. Sneasel.
Scaredy Fish, the Shivering TP,
Snorunt.
Yeah.
Steel. Clamperl. Piplup. Finian.
Yeah, come on, Joe. Come on.
And
5,
Snover.
4.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt that he's going to be able to whiz right through all these.
We'll see. Let's try the grass one. well, good thing over half of those are Gen 1. I know those spot on. But Butterfree, Beedrill, Oddish, Bellsprout,
I call that one Buzzkill, by the way.
Buzzkill, uh, Execute, Tangela, Scyther, Yanma, Shuckle. Well, I guess he is part bug type. I was like, that's a weird one, but no, he is. Roselia, Gulpin, Combee, and Cherubin.
Cherim, right? Isn't the
Cherim?
Cherim? Or... Yeah.
Oh, that's the Pac-Man cherries.
It's the different Cherim.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's the 2 different Cherims you can get. Or no, sorry, you're
No,
right. Cherubi. Cherubi's the baby. Cherim is the...
Yeah,
Is that-
Cherubi.
Is that the baby
Yeah,
form?
Cherubi. The baby form of
Oh,
Cherim.
nice.
And then down on the bottom is Alolan Diglett, Alolan Geodude, and it's specifically Alolan because they have steel typing.
Oh, okay.
Magnemite, Onyx, Voltorb, Electabuzz, Mareep, Skarmory, Nosepass, Lairon, which is interesting that it's not Aeron.
Not
It's
Aeron.
the middle
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
Electrike, Beldum, and Shieldon.
Oh, I need some Shieldons. And remind me how we get these lures, because they seem to be very difficult to come by.
You buy them in the store?
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Oh, no wonder they're very difficult to come by. Holy cow. Well, whoever bought that in Chicago, thank you, because I got to evolve my Eevee at dinner because I got to
Nice.
get underneath one of one of these that let my Eevee turn into the Sneevee, the Snow Eevee, whatever.
Oh, so the Glacial.
Glacial, yeah.
Yeah.
Names, who needs them?
The
So
Glaceon, which is cool. That's the only one I've encountered in the wild too. I haven't done the Mossy or the Magnetic to do my Leafeon or my
yeah.
Magnetitis or whatever he's called.
I like
What's the
it.
big one? Magnezone. Thank you.
I know. Magnetitis sounds so much better.
It does, right?
I like it. I dig it.
Magnetetnus.
Magnetetanus.
Now, Joe,
Shot.
this is where you get to be the 1%er again, earn your title back. How many of those do you have that you don't need these special lures for anymore?
I have all of those Pokemon.
And all the
Yeah.
EV evolutions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's just
Yeah,
I have
aside
I have to have goals. I have to have squad goals.
Aside from Leafeon and Magnezone, I've got all these too, Charles. Jeez, where have you been? What have you been doing? Jeez.
I might have most of these.
I bet you. I was gonna say you've probably got, because these are all fairly easy to come by.
Now, the only one I really, really need, I think, is that Pac-Man cherries. I don't know if I have that specific version.
Yeah.
But I need the shield. I need more shield on. I think I might have had one.
I just have
And
one Cherubi
Let's see.
hatched out of an egg, I think. Yeah, hatched out of an egg in Victor, Colorado.
So I've got the 2 different Cherums, but I don't have the Cherubi at all. So I need that. And then, I think I got I know I've seen the shadows of the shield on. Did I get one?
And I imagine those are still coming out of
I didn't get one yet.
eggs, right? The Cherubis, like
Yep.
2K eggs or 5K eggs. Do you know?
Let me check on the eggs.
But I
So-
imagine, Charles, you do have all the rest of these. I'd be
I'm-
surprised if you don't.
I'm
But
definitely trying.
What you can do is you can actually go to the Sylph Road, sylphroad.com/egg-distances, and it will give you the current lineup of eggs. Who specifically were you asking for again?
Cherubi.
Cherubs.
Cherubi.
Oh yeah, there it is. It's in the 5.
Okay, there you go. I didn't scroll down far enough. There's a lot in the 5s.
The 5s are
So.
like 60 different ones you can get in a 5 right now.
So that's awesome. Well, the percentage on that's not awesome, but it's still awesome that it's there and ready to go. Looks like that's all of our major headlines, right? Happy birthday to Nick Garris. I hope I said that right. May you catch them all on your birthday. I guess. I'm not sure what to say for
Cool.
Pokemon, but yeah, happy birthday. No, I know we got that one, Joe. I'm just saying all the relevant ones to the show. So before we get into our anniversary talk, because we were talking about the 3 years and why we love playing the game and this and that and the other, Harry Potter Wizards Unite is made by Niantic. It's using the same, not maybe servers,
Point of
but
interest.
yeah, same point of interest as our game. And I know we talked about it when it first launched, and we did a little breakdown on it. I got to tell you, this is no shock to anybody who listens to this show. Once I found out I had to go out and essentially spin stops to get energy to do the spells, I was out. I really enjoy Pokemon. I enjoy how they've given me ways to get the materials I need to play while I'm driving, right? And I can spin those stops. And then it's on me to go play.
Oh, Charles, they specifically tell you not to play while you're driving.
I've got the gotcha.
But as, yeah.
I mean?
But as obviously as the Pokemon Go podcast, we're Pokemon Go players.
Yeah.
And I feel like Niantic missed an opportunity to say, hey, if you're already a Pokemon Go player, we don't want to lose you in one to jump onto the other, or we don't want you to say, well, I'm not going to do both without, giving some sort of bonus to it. But it feels like if you somehow can set your accounts, connect your accounts between the two games, it'd be great if Niantic could say, if you're in one game and you spin a Pokestop, you'll automatically get energy in Wizards Unite, or vice versa. If you go to a greenhouse and get energy, then you'll automatically it'll be like you're spinning a Pokestop in Pokemon Go and you'll get Pokeballs. It feels like it's something that they could probably figure out a way to do. And it would just be such a cool little nod to say, hey, we want you to get out there and play both and kind of enjoy both of them. And code seems like it could be there to make that happen, to connect your accounts.
And they don't have Adventure Sync live on Wizards Unite. They don't have a peripheral like the Pokemon Go Plus.
Well, unless you're on the Samsung, or did they launch that pen they
haven't launched the pen yet, the wand pen thing. Yeah, not to my knowledge, but I would really be curious, knowing how you have to draw those rune shapes.
Right.
I'd love to know how you do that, how the pen registers that, because that'd actually be pretty cool.
But it has friends, but there's no real point to being friends. There's no trading.
Yeah,
there's no battling together. But Joe, you brought up. There's a specific article here saying that it's not keeping up with its big brother Pokemon Go.
Yeah. So there was a recent list of how popular games are on the iOS store, and the new Harry Potter game ranked number 52. So it definitely doesn't have the momentum. That's far below Pokemon Go, which still sits at number 7. It's currently at number 7.
That's 3 years of Pokemon Go being out. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, it's not up there in the top grossing. It's not breaking any records or anything like that. Harry Potter itself does have a decent following, but it doesn't have the clout that Pokemon has. In addition, I feel like Harry Potter Wizards Unite suffers from overcomplication.
Mm-hmm.
It has too much going on at once.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, not enough, if that makes sense. Like, I feel busy for busy's sake rather than having an objective.
Yeah, and their dailies, I think they ask you to do a little bit too much. I mean, basically they're asking you to go fight in a gym, visit 2 inns, catch 10 foundlings or whatever they're called, and confoundables and things like that, as opposed to the quest system that they've got in Pokemon Go, which I think is a little bit better executed.
Yeah.
Than the daily, the daily do all these and then you'll get your carrot on a stick.
Yeah. And is this one of those cases where being first and actually being good at being first, even though they definitely had some missteps early on. I mean, they were the only ones out there, but they fixed them, they survived, and they've grown and become better. Like Facebook did what it did. I mean, it changed. Nobody remembers the original Facebook. The original Facebook wasn't even as good as MySpace, but then they updated to what we know of Facebook today. And then even when Google tried to do their thing, it's, you're trying to be Facebook. And is it that kind of thing of where Pokemon did it, made it work, and everybody out there? Plus, they had. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not taking away from the property. Obviously, this IP of Pokemon was built for this type of game. I mean, it was
Sure.
no brainer there. But everything's always going to be compared. And is there an IP that can make this work?
I mean, I would
Besides
think if
Pokemon?
there's, yeah, I mean, I would think that if there's anything, I mean, I've had an idea for a Marvel version of this for a couple of years where,
Well, don't tell me. I'll spoil it on air.
no, I mean, me saying it on air
Okay.
kind of locks it to me,
Yeah.
doesn't it? But it would basically be you're Peter Parker, intrepid photographer reporter for the Daily Bugle, and
Nice.
you have to go out and take photos of other Marvel heroes in AR as they are battling supervillains, and so you catch them, quote unquote, catch them by taking photographs of, oh, here's the Thing chasing a bad guy in the park, or over here you've got Doctor Strange banishing a demon, through a portal or something like
Nice.
that, and you get warnings, like a little heads up, little icon on the map saying there's superhero activity here, superhero activity there, and the better your picture is, the more J. Jonah Jameson pays you for that photo.
Nice.
Pokemon Snap meets Marvel.
Kind of, yeah,
Kinda.
exactly.
And then as Spider-Man, you can
Oh,
even do some side battles and
Klotz,
stuff.
you are treading thin
Yeah.
ice right there, Klotz, in the chat room.
He's
talking
getting us
about
both. I was ignoring
he's
chat
getting
room.
us
I'm being
Scarlet Spider. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it is
It seems
interesting.
like there
It
are
worked, but
IPs where this could work. Around the time that Ghostbusters comes out, they could easily do a Ghostbusters version of it. But there isn't the collectability for ghosts like there is for Pokemon. There's already an established collection
yeah,
of Pokemon.
I think that's
And
key.
what you do with them afterwards.
Hello.
I mean, Wizards Unite, you grab them and you stick them in your little collector's stickers, and that's all you do with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I filled a page. Ooh, filled a page of Harry Potter's.
It does
So-
feel like though if Harry Potter can stick it out and make some improvements, give you a reason to have friends, give you something to do with them, or if you fill up the whole page, maybe it unlocks something that's coming in the future. And
Yeah.
I can see this if they can last a year, it might be a game we come back to individually and go, you know what, they've made some massive improvements, we'll play, and it'll be different.
Sure.
Kind of like what a
Sure.
lot of people did with Pokemon. It launched to 8 million, 9, I don't know, a huge number of people, and then it dropped off significantly from launch. But as they've made improvements and really put those commercials back out there to kind of say, without saying, hey, come back and play again, they're saying, hey, come back and play again. They've grown each month.
Yeah,
So it's possible.
for sure.
We'll see. All right, well, we have our anniversary. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's our 3rd anniversary, and to go along with the game. And we've got a few Speak Price to play here. I did check with Buckeye Fitzy, and he said it was actually for like 2 weeks ago, but he mentioned that something this week, so it worked. Because I know I apologized last week, saying, hey, I saw it, but thought it might be for today. So anyway, here's Buckeye Fitzy.
Hi guys, Buckeye Fitzy, or the Legal Geek here. Congrats in advance on celebrating your 3rd anniversary of the show. Wanted to follow up on Go Fest, which my family and I attended last week. We've always enjoyed the hunt for new Pokemon, and I've personally enjoyed raiding the best in this game. And while I was excited for Go Fest, with Pachirisu and Unknown coming to the Pokedex, I wasn't sure, based on a description of it being a 10-hour community day, if it would hold up for the full day. However, our family really enjoyed it despite the cold Sunday weather in Chicago, as there ended up being stuff for everyone even without the raids. And the biggest surprise to me was PvP. I've never really engaged with it, as it felt like the weaker version of raids. But long story short, I made the final round of my 16-person bracket of those ongoing tournaments that went all day, and that netted me the exclusive black t-shirt and the ear cuffs. But it also ignited a passion to check out the local PvP scene. With changing Sylph Road seasons and monthly tournaments here, including one that Kelly and I are going to this upcoming weekend, I now have a whole new side of this game to explore and enjoy. That's what I'll take away most from GoFest. Well, that and 50 Pachirisu. Thanks, guys.
Wow, that's a good catch.
That's cool.
I didn't catch. Did he say what day he played?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Cold snow.
Oh,
Cold-
and that
no, Sunday,
rainstorm.
Cold Chicago
Oh,
Sunday. Yeah.
Sorry, man. But glad that you got your squirrels. That's awesome. This one is from Owens the Prince. So here we go.
Hello, it's Owens the Prince, and just sending a little message for Brian. Thanks for all the good work you've done over the past 3 years. I've loved listening to you. Gonna miss you as well. Hope you can pop in and let us know how you're getting on from time to time. But I just don't want you to leave. Please, Brian. Brian, please, just stay and forget about the podcast and talent American thing. Please just stay with us. What's Joe gonna do? Teddy Wolf is dead to me.
I'll be stuck with Charles.
Wait. He said something about somebody's dead to him at the end. Hold on.
Oh,
Gonna do? Teddy Wolf is dead to me.
that's awesome. That's totally awesome. Thanks, Owens the Prince. That's awesome.
I
Very
vote
nice.
with Owen. Forget about that American thing that you're doing and just stick around here. But yes, no, Emmett will definitely be back as much as we can.
You'll see me.
Get him to come back. It'll be fun. And so, so everybody knows, a little thing that Joe and I talked about doing is we're going to try to have a guest on each month. Once or twice a month, depending on how it plays. If it doesn't count as a guest, you can come back anytime. So I'm saying you're not standing in line behind people.
What?
Emmett gets to cut the line. So yeah, anytime Emmett wants to come back.
That's cool. That's very cool.
And we're going to bring on some patrons, and we're going to bring on some other show hosts and different things like that. And there will be times, as we know, that I have to be out, and we've got people on the network who are willing to step in and help out. I know Paul Klotz, who's doing the modding tonight for us. He's willing to. He's playing too, but he's definitely willing to step in and help do the broadcast stuff. So a few hopefully positive changes, but definitely making room for Ebbet to always come back and play.
Cool.
So and now. It's totally against the rules. I was going to say, now that Emmett's not on the show, maybe Pokemon can compete for the next top podcaster. But that's not how that works.
I was going to say, you haven't been bowing out of those because I'm on the show. Yeah.
No, there's a little asterisk I saw in the rules. No deity is allowed. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
I can't
Listen,
compete.
Soundography was a nominee last year, so I'm sure they don't keep track of that sort of thing.
All right.
Todd Cochran's got enough to keep track of.
Yeah. All right, here comes one. I don't know this name. I don't recognize it. It's been so long ago that I think this person passed away. But here we go.
Hey guys, it's Zen. I have two reasons why I play Pokemon Go. One is it's a series that I grew up with since I was a child. And I've been fascinated with the games that I've been introduced by my brothers, and I've taken upon myself to carry on that tradition of catching them all. And the second reason is Pokemon Go has allowed me to engage with other people and complete strangers, new and old, and basically just make friends that I have never encountered before. Pokemon Go has allowed me to becoming a more socializable person than I was before. And I also want to say, Brian, thank you for what you've done for Pokemon Go Podcast. And I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Take it easy.
Aw, thanks for that.
Man, he didn't even take a pot shot at me. Now I feel bad.
I know. I thought for sure one of his reasons for playing Pokemon Go is to show you the shinies that he has.
And that's awesome, man, that it has gotten you out and getting you to make new friends and be more social. And that those are some of the stories we see in general across the board of how it's getting people more exercise and this and that. But to have it from the show itself is pretty awesome.
I mean, even the three of us, I think it's gotten us out there talking to players out there in the in the field and getting out there, getting more exercise, or at least just getting out to parks and for me every month for Community Day, walking around Old Town Arvada and seeing the same people out there and saying, "Hey, how's it going? How many shinies you got?" and stuff like that. So it's I mean that's a great aspect of the game that I don't think even Niantic would have expected it
Yeah.
reaching the levels that it's reached.
Yeah, as much as I don't like talking to people in the wild, it's just a thing. I don't know. It's one of those. It's not quite the Kurt Cobain thing of I want to be a rock star, but I don't want people to notice me. But it's I don't know. It's a thing. It absolutely has gotten me talking to more strangers, and you see it. If you're in an area and you're playing Pokemon, you see people typically out with your phone. I've had, like I said, I've had people randomly knock on my window and see me playing the car, and it's not weird. Normally, I'd be like, "Get away from me! What are you doing knocking on my car?" But I'm like, "No, hey, yeah,
Right.
Pokemon," and absolutely, it definitely makes you uh, uh, more sociable, more friendly, um, and the aspects of raiding together and playing together. Joe, he's kind of kidding, but wasn't kidding where most of those trades were from him and me, but it gives us something to do together. It gave me something to do more with my kids. And then after I came back from Chicago, I can't remember if I thought about this, but I came back from Chicago this year. I was telling Crosby, my oldest daughter, who's the only one really interested in any of the Pokemon stuff, about all the craziness we saw and all the cool stuff that was out there. She wants to go next year. So, all right, well, you got to be playing so we can become friends better, so I can get you a ticket. So it gives me something. And then the little ones, when the weather's nice, we go out for community day, and they don't care what it is. They just love being out and playing. And honestly, it beats going to just a park and me sitting on my butt watching them slide down the slide. We're actively out there doing stuff. What about you, Joe? What's some of the memories it brought up for you?
Oh man, losing my first account. There's that.
I totally forgot about that.
I forgot about that.
Remind
too,
us of that story.
Yeah. So early on, I mean, the first 3 or 4 months, and then even sporadically past that, the Pokemon Trainer Club accounts had tons and tons and tons of login issues. But my first account was a Pokemon Trainer Club account. But after that first day, I got to like level 5 or 6, and it wouldn't let me in the next day. I was like, okay, well, forget this. So I just logged in again with my Gmail. But yeah, I lost that first account. One day it didn't have anything special on it or anything like that. But there's that. Just seeing people in the streets playing, like you could see them looking at their phone, walking the same direction as you are. You're like, oh, are you trying to find that Beedrill that's on the map? And he's like, yes. Yeah, I'm trying to find that Beedrill. And so we're both walking, trying to find the Beedrill back when they still had the footsteps to show how far away they were.
Wow, yeah, that was a while back.
Oh yeah, that didn't last for too long. Maybe about 3 or 4 months before they pulled that. And it's been a wild ride. Just the different things they've done, different pop-up events here and there. Like last year when we were at Dragon Con, and all of a sudden unknowns that are spelling Dragon Con are popping up. And yeah.
Because we had hoped, but they had not announced that there would be at Dragon Con. And that was a really cool thing.
Yeah. And so it's been a great 3 years.
I want to ask both of you guys, what's the earliest, coolest memory from the game that you can think of?
I mean, mine would have actually been that weekend that it started, and Tina and I were in Chicago. We were actually going to Milwaukee and Chicago. Went to Milwaukee for Summerfest and to see some stuff out there, and then we popped down to Chicago for one night to meet up with you, go to the podcast.
That's right, yeah, podcast
movement, and met Bo there. But while we were in Milwaukee on day one, we were watching a group of guys playing the game, group of like 20-something guys, or 20-something-year-old guys, not 20 guys, but 20-something-year-old guys, who were so busy playing the game that one guy tripped over a fire hydrant, like walked over.
Oh, no.
Because he was like looking for stuff on the fire hydrant. And Uno's Pizzeria downtown had a big Pikachu on their signboard outside. And, just then saying, oh, my God, this thing is probably going to be huge. just from just from those few little signs and things that we saw out there.
Yeah. What about
How about
you,
you?
Joe? As I throw
I
to you while you're
remember
yawning.
it was probably week 2. Um, what had started to happen at my work, because at that time we only had the one stop in the lobby. Um, People would go there and drop lures during lunch break, and we'd all sit there and play and just talk. And there was once where I got there just a little bit late to that, and apparently the lore had spawned a Snorlax, and I missed it.
Oh,
Oh
And
no.
no!
so all these people were like, "Oh yeah, we just got a Snorlax, just got a Snorlax." And what popped up for me was at that time it was a 30 something CP Vaporeon. After the CP rework, it's now a 42 CP Vaporeon that I still have. That's named Drizzle.
Oh,
Drizzle.
there's so many of those
Yeah.
old ones that I caught that I really wish I would have kept. Just even for trade stuff, but had no idea what was going to be coming down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite early memories was walking back into the lobby of whatever the hotel was, the Hilton, I think it was, that Podcast Movement was at. And I'd been out with a friend of mine seeing Chicago and came back in. And here comes Bo York walking across the lobby with his head in his phone and almost runs into a post. And he's like looking around and I'm like, Bo, what are you doing, man? And they had just launched the game like an hour ago. And he's like,
Yeah.
I go, look, there's a Pidgey. And I'm like, okay, I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, yeah, okay, Pokemon, ooh, phone game. And then we
Right.
pulls up, and there's this animated bird in the middle of the floor dancing around, and he catches it like, oh, that's really cool. And I went to download the game on my phone right then, too. And that was really cool. And then I remember,
I don't miss all the server problems those first
oh,
couple of
yeah,
days.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of that.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely remember there were some false stories coming out early days of basically like Pokemon would only work where there's one. So if Brian got to it before I did, I couldn't catch that Pokemon. And there is a fun little story I saw on Facebook of I was hunting down this Pikachu. It is in the first couple of days that this game was out. As I was hunting down this Pikachu, and then it disappeared off the radar or whatever, off the nearby. And I looked at this other people coming at me. It's like, did you get it? No, did you get it? This old man came out from the path. Like, oh, I got it. Oh, it was like very Team Rocket of the old man. It was a fun story. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks as a game if I'm hunting the same one that, just because the guys are here that Joe's hunting. And then to find out that was just a fun, made up story and it's not real, that it spawns for everybody, that was cool.
That's cool.
And then,
I'd forgot that was a thing. I'd forgotten that it was if somebody catches it before you get to it. I guess that's right, because there was that
Well,
Pikachu
that was a rumor.
that was a
Not-
rumor, yeah. I don't know if it
It
really worked
wasn't
that
a real
way.
thing.
It wasn't? Okay, because I
No.
remember the time that I came around the corner because I saw the shadow of a Pikachu, and it disappeared, and there was a kid walking away who'd obviously was playing Pokemon Go, and I just put
Yeah, you
put
just
one and
think,
one
yeah,
together
because you don't know.
'cause I
And
didn't know.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it just happened to
timed out.
spawn at the right time to make you
Right.
think.
Exactly. Made me
Yeah.
hate that kid too.
And then back at the beginning, when there were a bajillion different maps out and about that you could look at to find
yeah.
controversy that
yeah.
surrounded those, and
Right.
yep.
So, what's one of your worst memories of the game? Like you're glad it's fixed this, or that we don't have to deal with that anymore?
Boy, God, it didn't happen to me personally, but I remember the fights that would happen when gyms were launched, and you could take over someone's gym. Oh, you're just gonna eat a bomb pop on the air. Just gonna eat a bomb pop.
Just
right
shove it in
there
their
on the
face,
air.
Joe. We don't get Bob Pops either.
Exactly, but I remember hearing the stories about people who were fighting because they had just taken a gym and then somebody had
Oh
pulled over
yeah.
and taken it back, and like it turned into a fist fight and the cops had to get involved, or somebody hopping over the fence at the military graveyard in West Point
Yeah.
and doing stuff like that. I'm trying to think of what I mean. The obviously the server issues on week one were a bummer because we were doing all that traveling in Milwaukee and Chicago. It would have been a great time to just sit there and catch and catch and catch. But God, what else was a real downer? Oh, when when Niantic stole my idea for Quest and they didn't pay me.
They didn't. Yeah, you didn't get royalties for it. That
Yeah,
I
they
get
didn't
that.
reimburse me for my idea that they stole.
And to come off of what you're saying about, I'm happy. It's the worst and best memory. The early days, I'm talking about the first 6-8 months. I mean, all the news was covering was the horribleness, right? The people in other countries, and some of it here, but I think mostly in other countries of playing Go on their phone and killing other people with their vehicles, and
Right.
just
And
the
most
horrible.
of those were fake, and
Yeah, well, some of them weren't though.
course
I mean,
they
some of them were,
were, yeah.
but some of them weren't. And then we
Yeah.
know about some of the true stories that happened here in the U.S. and we were covering them.
like
and
that
even
grandpa that was playing
Yeah.
late and got shot by
Yeah.
a night watchman or whatever. And
Yeah, and that resolved just recently. He was found guilty. The night watchman was, and unfortunately, he's going to do time in jail. I mean, unfortunately for a human being and a mistake that he made. But what I'm happy about is those stories are a whole lot less and more. You're getting, hey, this Pokemon group raised this much money for charity, and this Pokemon group spent the day cleaning up the park, and all these more positive stories of Pokemon groups helping the society around them and as making news as opposed to the negative stories there. What about you, Joe? You gonna share that bomb pop with us, man? You're killing me, man. You're killing me. But no, what's one of the things you're glad is done or fixed? Worst memory that became better.
the stampedes for rare Pokemon, blocking traffic and creating safety hazards. Oh, there's a Snorlax over there, or one of them was like a Vaporeon. There's a Vaporeon over there, and you see these videos of just hundreds of people flocking to it in downtown areas, and it's a safety risk. And I mean, at this point, we think, oh, it's a Vaporeon, oh, it's a Snorlax. We've had plenty of opportunities. But at that time, it was brand new. Those were decently rare, and well, I mean, at the beginning, Vaporeon was the go-to Pokemon for destroying gyms. I mean, Vaporeon wrecked face,
Yeah.
and a lot has changed. You don't see Vaporeon on raid guides nowadays, but
No.
Vaporeon used to be the Pokemon, which is
Yeah.
kind of weird to think now.
Yeah, it was. I definitely used the naming convention to get my first Vaporeon, and Jolteon for me was the go-to for a lot of things. I try to focus on water raids, right, or water gym battles like that. Had a lot of water people. And I was like, oh, I got you, man. My Jolteons were the most powerful ones in my Pokédex, and I still use them from time to time. Like I went out to Magikarp, like we recommend 5. Like, no, I'm gonna take one Jolteon. We're good. And I took it. I still know how to play my dogs right. But there was if you're live here on Twitch, being that this is the anniversary, we're gonna take some live questions. And if you got questions for us, definitely throw them out. We'd love to hear them. Fabian earlier was asking me what is my rarest shiny, and I will look that up right now, and I throw it to you guys as well. What is your rarest shiny? Now I'm not sure how to measure rarity. So I'm gonna
Just
we've
knowing, I think,
had
is all
those-
you can do. Yeah.
We've had those Pokemon Go shiny tier lists.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah, we have. So
Let me see if I can find. This one's
Mine,
definitely
while
not.
you're
the
looking
most
for it, I'll tell you mine. Which is I think it's the shiny Togetic or Togepi.
oh golly, wow, that would be very rare. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think I did evolve into a shiny Togetic to use in battles. But
Throw it in our show notes, Joe, so I can grab it and look at it personally.
Will do. I'm not sure if this is. It's definitely not the most up to date because it's only as of February.
Still,
now.
that'll help out.
Yeah.
I tell you, my favorite is that Roserade because she's kind of hard to come by. Period, and then to get the shiny version was very cool. All right, so we got baby Pikachu's.
Baby Spice?
I don't have any of the God mode ones. No, I don't have any of the God mode ones. It looks like I'm gonna be C tier, I think. No,
Let's
Sable.
see,
I got Sableye at B2.
Yeah, Sableye is pretty high. The one I just posted is it doesn't go S through whatever, but it's more recent, but it's just slightly more updated, really.
Yeah, so I think that Sableye. My first is definitely my rarest. So yeah. What about you, Joe? What is your rarest?
Mine would have to be. See, if they did it nowadays, I think he'd probably move down. But I have 2 shiny Ghastly, which are among the
God
in
mode
that
tiers.
A3 range.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But they were popping up at Go Fest, so I suspect those might move down a bit. Besides that, my next one is a shiny Talo and a shiny Togepi
Nice.
and a shiny Shinx.
See, I have only one of the easy. No, I got 2. I've got 2 of the easy to get ones. The one on this new list that you put that's down at 90%. I've got both our community day. I've got
Yeah.
Quivella. What's his name?
Yeah, that bottom list
Cyndaquil.
is all
Cyndaquil.
community.
Yeah,
day.
anything
Yeah.
community day is sadly going to be a fairly
Yeah.
easy one.
And the 80% is community day as well, with the
Yeah.
exception of Clamperl. That Clamperl had a research day.
I had Pikachu. I got that one off of there. I still have, for the life of me, not gotten a Magikarp at all.
Wow.
I got that
think
Pinsir.
I've had 3 or 4 because I've traded one of them. Yeah, I've had. It's been a while since I've gotten one.
I should
but
give you one. I
I've
have
had
an
a few.
extra.
Well, you're coming to Dragon Con. Pack your bags.
That's true. That's
There you
true.
go.
Pack your Pokebags.
Oh, I have a shiny Absol. That's a little bit higher up too. That's a fun one.
So that's cool. You know, it's just no. Now you know what my favorite. What is your favorite shinies that you have?
Oh,
And do you have, by chance, do you have any 0% IV shinies?
see,
I
that's the
don't
thing is I don't
I have
check.
0% IV shinies, but my favorite is my shiny Umbreon. I really like
Nice.
because it reminds me of Tron, and Tron was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's funny because I think the Kyogre also has kind of a Tron look to it.
Mm.
Little
Yeah.
Tron whale. I do like the Metagross, shiny Metagross.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't really have a favorite shiny. I think I probably would say that Metagross is my favorite shiny. It's just so cool looking.
It is pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Gotta have a ton of Cyndaquils. Anybody need a shiny Cyndaquil? I'm almost feeling like Zenzaloo and or Terry Wolf and starting to get rid of those.
See, I've got a ton of Plusle.
Hmm.
I've got like 6 or 7 shiny Plusle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, and no Minans.
I have 2 or 3 shiny
Do
Minans,
you?
but
Yeah, I never got any shiny Minans during that whole thing.
that was during Go Fest last year.
Hmm.
While I was stuck in the airport, I caught shinies of them while
That's cool.
I was unable to sleep. So
And that's why you hate them now.
yeah, just take them all. Just take them.
Oh wow, yeah. Civi Anon base. I'm sure I pronounced that correctly. Spelled it correctly. Says that you get the shiny hat Pichu, which Pichu with the hat, the event Pichu
Yeah.
with the hat, shiny. That's really cool.
And that's very rare.
With which hat? The because there's a bunch of different hat shiny Pichus. Is it the birthday hat? Because that one. It is.
Oh, civilian.
On
Oh,
base.
okay, civilian base. Gotcha.
The party hat Pichu. Wow.
Wow, that's hacker. I don't know. That's just awesome is what that is.
That is awesome.
I did forget my worst memory though. My worst memory in the 3 years of doing this show and playing the game is of Go Fest, but not the one you're thinking of. this last Go Fest where Go Cast tricked me into drinking a shot of Malort. That's my worst memory of this game at all. Chris got me, man.
Because usually Malort erases your memory, so the fact that that's the worst memory that you actually remember it is pretty
didn't
good.
erase it because he could taste.
I could taste it the next day. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so gross. All right, we got. We definitely still have some trivia, and then we'll cover some more things before we get done here. More memories and whatnot. But Joe, actually, you know what, Ibit, I will let you ask the question this time.
Aw. I get to ask. Hey Joe, what time is it?
It is time for random trivia, and this week I wanted to talk about Nidoran Male. Since his shiny is out and about, go get it. The blue shiny that looks a lot like the female version, like we were saying.
Totally, yeah.
Nidoran and Nidorino are both the poison pin Pokemon, while Nidoking is the drill Pokemon.
Poison Pin, Pin.
Yep, poison
Okay.
pin.
And then the drill Pokemon. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So they're all poison type, while Nidoking is also ground type. And that poison pin actually once they allowed us to start having abilities. So was it Gen 2 that we started having abilities? Anyway, it was either Gen 2 or Gen 3. One of Nidoran's possible abilities was Poison Point, where if they attacked you with a physical attack, so as in they like tackle or they actually touched your Pokemon, it was possible that they would get poisoned just from touching your Nidoran.
Gotcha.
So that's part of that poison pin. And yeah, and Nidorino is one of the, what is it, 6? I could be off on that. But Pokemon that evolve using a Moonstone. And so it was, at least for me personally, when I was playing Blue version, it was always one of my favorite ones to grab was Nidoran Male and get it up to Nidoking. Because he proves
And that's a situation where you've got to be holding the item and then evolving the Pokemon,
No,
right?
this one you use it on him.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's actually, as far as the red, blue, and yellow version, using Nidoran Male is a popular strategy for speedrunners as well. Because Nidoking, like I said before, is the drill Pokemon. He can learn a one-hit kill move called Horn Drill that has low accuracy, but if it hits, boom, no matter what, the Pokemon is dead. And so what speedrunners will do is when they're up against some of the tougher fights that they wouldn't have normally won otherwise, they cheese it by using an item called Accuracy Up, I think is what it's called. Anyway, it increases your accuracy so that they don't miss with that Horn Drill. And so they can just one-hit kill stuff that normally they wouldn't have been able to beat. But anyway, Nidoran Male, the Pokedex entry, its ears stiffen when it senses danger, and its horns can secrete a powerful venom. So that's that toxin that if you bump into them while they are aware, they will secrete poison and poison you. And then Nidorino, which is one of the first Pokemon that you ever see when you boot up the games, because it shows Nidorino fighting a Gengar right there at the beginning of Pokemon Red and Blue. But it is an aggressive Pokemon that is very quick to attack, and it especially likes to poison people. So, don't mess with these guys unless you got something to cure your poison. So,
Interesting.
And then there's Nidoking, which its Pokedex entry actually talks about its tail being powerful, and that it can actually smash, constrict, and then break the bones. Which, as far as I know, you never see its tail do that in the anime. Blue Blue or Gary has a Nidoking that you see him fight with it a couple of times, but you never see him use its tail to constrict on somebody. So I didn't even realize that was a thing, but that's pretty cool. These little guys are at least Nidoran male. The theory is that they were inspired by a hamster or a rabbit, possibly even a porcupine.
That's the one I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, obviously he doesn't have the spikes like a porcupine, but he's got the body shape like a porcupine.
Yep.
Huh.
And Nidoran is, I mean, this is before genders were even in the game. In Gen 1, genders weren't really a thing except with Nidoran male and Nidoran female, which caused a lot of issues later on because of how they decided to do eggs. I think we've talked about it before, but if I'm not mistaken, Nidoqueen, I think it's Nidoqueen, actually can't produce an egg with another Pokemon. So, but yeah, there's some weird egg nuances when it comes to the Nido family. The name, there's a bunch of different thoughts as far as the name comes in, because this one isn't directly evident. One of the thoughts is Nido. It refers to 2 times or 2 degrees, possibly talking about how it has 2 distinct evolutionary lines.
Nido. Okay, gotcha.
So the
Like
Nido,
Japanese.
exactly, and so talking about how it splits into the male and the female paths, which is in my opinion, that's probably one of the better interpretations on that. And then the Japanese word ran can be translated as orchid in English, and orchids can be purple or blue. So the Nido, so 2 degrees, and the Ran being the 2 different color variations.
All right. Okay.
So, and then Nidorino or Nidorino, however you want to pronounce it, they're rhinoceros is what the
yeah, all right.
second part of that.
Sure.
And then Nidoking, he is the king. So,
King of the rhinoceroses.
so which is kind of funny because some people think that Nidoking shares traits of a monkey or a gorilla. I kind of see it, but not quite. But oh well. So, but yeah, this set of these guys, the Nido line has always been among my favorites. So they're fun times.
All right.
That's interesting stuff. Probably more information about the Nido family than I ever wanted, but it's interesting stuff. Cool stuff. Man, some of the lore goes really deep in this, and Sword and Shield's coming out in a few months, and that's going to add more to all the lore, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are not happy with Sword and Shield because Pokemon, it's not Bank, whatever their home, Pokemon Home. Apparently, the only things that are going to be able to move over, at least as of now, unless they make some changes before it's released, are Pokemon from that region.
Oh, really?
I think it's the Galar region.
Yeah.
Gallifrey.
So. That's right. Yes, Pokemon who?
Hey, Joe, ask me about the time.
What time is it?
It's time for Emmett Trivia. Yeah. Joe, did you know that Brian Emmett has been podcasting since 2004?
Since podcasting was a word?
Since it was a word, yes.
Yeah, right around the time that Sebastian, who was the guy that actually coined the phrase, and Adam Curry started using it, and but it was right around that time. It was right around that time that I was listening to podcasts, and and then started doing my own.
So my question is, because you've shared a video from your corporate days where you were doing,
Yes.
when were you already out of the corporate world when podcasting came around, or did podcasting help you
No,
get out of the corporate world?
It helped me get out of the corporate world. So in 2004, I started podcasting as a hobby and doing the nighttime podcasts after work, and really, having fun with it, but also stressing out the family. And then in 2006, switched to part-time at my company's office. We were actually they were going to be laying off a bunch of people, and I was like looking at, I'd gotten an offer from the Denver Post to start doing podcasts for them, which I'd accepted, and thought, you know what, I'm going to switch to part-time. We kept one of those people's jobs, and moved another person to part-time instead of completely axing them, and so I started podcasting semi professionally in 2006 for the Denver Post, and then 2009 cut all that stuff completely and just do freelance. And it was funny, for a while I was doing freelance for the company that I worked for, so it went from part time to like no time, or my time, I guess, is probably the best way to describe it. But yeah, it was 2009 was the actual completely cutting off a paycheck, a monthly paycheck that I could always rely on to do podcasting full time.
Now,
And now we see where that is. Kids, let this be a lesson to you. Well,
so Joe, what are the origins of Brian Ibbett's name?
where does the name come from?
Yeah.
Little known fact, it's actually pronounced Brian.
That's right. Yes. Comes from on, because he's always on.
And Fabian has so many questions. What's Brian's shiny form? Is he an evolution? Does he have the Alolan form? This is Brian's shiny form, right?
Yeah,
the live.
You actually see it.
You see? The Alolan form is when you catch him live in Vegas, because that's the Vegas Brian. That's a whole different coloration.
Actually, the Alolan form is whenever I'm wearing a Hawaiian t-shirt. Or a Hawaiian shirt. Not a Hawaiian t-shirt, but a Hawaiian shirt.
And then this absolutely is the evolution if you ever see the corporate video that he released as a Throwback Thursday one day. So
Yeah, totally.
by all means, this is the mega Brian as we know him. So 2004, roughly how many episodes do you think across the board do you have under your belt?
Everything? So between Coverville and TMS, 3,000 episodes just of those two, because it's like 1,200 and 1,700. A couple hundred or a few hundred Film Sack, 150 of these. And then there are the shows like 365 episodes of This Day in Music, which was one of the Denver Post shows. Lyrics Undercover got up there. So I'd probably say there's 5,000 episodes of Brian Ibbett on something.
Wow.
Out there.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot. So let's talk about the show. So that was your random trivia.
Random trivia of Brian
Yeah.
Ibbett.
3 years, and we've come a long way. It's flown by.
It really has flown by, for
know,
sure.
It doesn't, and I know maybe a lot of people say that, but it doesn't feel like we've been doing the show for 3 years at all, which is really good.
Feels
Joe?
like we've been doing this episode for 3 years. Feels like we were talking about Ditto King. Ditto ran for 3 years. I'm just kidding.
What's your favorite memory of the show, Joe?
Boy, put me on the spot right there.
Wow. Glad I've got some time to think.
Right off the get-go, to be honest, I felt like even though it was a bit shaky, our chemistry grew pretty quick. Even though we were complete strangers thrown into a podcast together, I felt it worked out really well, and I couldn't have asked for better co-hosts. So.
Aww.
Well, you could have asked. You wouldn't have found better co-hosts.
That's right. But mine, I'm trying to think. I mean, there was the time that Bo left right in the middle of a show to go catch a feraligator
And that same show, I stuck around
Yeah.
instead of leaving. No, I
Well,
stayed
that's just to say
instead
true for the whole show, man.
No, he left to get
Oh,
not
you got the
Macadam.
Feraligatr, right?
Yeah,
he got
there was
the
a
full house.
Feraligatr on my list, and he left to get. It wasn't a Meganium; it was the middle form, and now I'm blanking on it. But
Right.
anyway, yeah, he left right in the middle.
That's right. That was hilarious. I would do it too. I mean, it was the first day all the new Gen 2, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was Gen
Gen
2.
2 had
Yeah, it had to be
just
Gen
popped
2.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and it was
Yeah.
a bay leaf that he had.
That's right. Yeah. God, we are so due for the more Gen 4 release, aren't we?
Well, they've already
Yeah.
teased Gen 5.
That's right. Yeah, no kidding. But there's still tons of well, not tons, but there's still quite a few Gen 4s that we haven't gotten yet. So it's about time. I think you can release the rest of them. Just dump the bucket out into the server.
So in the Sinnoh region, I've got a number 58 by there. Like I guess that's how many I've caught. Is it 58?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's. I mean, they haven't released everything out of that generation, right?
Wow, I've got 82 in the Sinnoh region.
What about you, Joe?
Let's see, 87.
So, and how many are in that region? Because I don't think I may be mistaken, but I didn't think they released everything.
Well, it goes to 488 from.
There's 107 in that region.
There you go.
So yeah, there's a lot they haven't released yet. Then
Yeah. Oh, right. Because
Chief Buddington's got
more than that
92.
Because there's, because just the highest one I've got is a Cresselia, but there's probably ones after that, other legendaries in Gen 4 that they haven't added the numbers to.
There's a lot fewer than you'd think, though, to be honest, from Gen 4 that they haven't released. So
Okay.
there's Mime Jr., there's Rotom, Regigigas, Fione, Manaphy, Darkrai, Shaman, and Arceus.
Okay.
So unless I'm missing any, that's
Oh,
only
really?
8.
Oh, really? That's it? Because I have a lot of just numbered squares of things that I haven't even seen. You know, there's a few things I've seen at Chatot, so I've got the shadow of that, and I see the Gallade. Somebody had that. Somebody has a. Oh, that's just a Dusk Noir. I could evolve one of those. I was just waiting for a good.
IV one, yeah.
Yeah.
Chief Buddington's got 92, and he thinks that about 8-ish haven't been unreleased, which sounds about right.
All right.
What
Well,
you're saying, Joe?
Yeah, that's what I just said, 8.
well,
Yeah,
then there you
so
go,
there you go.
Niantic. Release those last 8. What are you waiting for?
Free the
No,
8.
well,
Free the 8.
Free the 8.
Of those 8, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 8 are either mythical or legendary. And Mime Jr. is a baby form of a regional that maybe they're still trying to decide what they're going to do.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Rotom, we talked about him. He's got all those different forms. So I suspect we'll see him in maybe similar to Spinda, where we see him in
Research
specific
tasks.
research tasks.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. Regigigas is going to be big because he's got stats as far as total stats comparable to Slackoth without the gimping, the gimped fast move. So once Regigigas comes out, he's going to roll over quite a bit of the different guides and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, there are a few changes coming with Ibit leaving. One of those, Joe, just correct me if I'm wrong, but one of those for sure, I believe will probably start next week, which is we're going to move to 8 o'clock Eastern from 7:30, make it a little easier for Joe and baby time to handle that because it was definitely a nice compromise.
Hopefully there's fewer surprise guests of the baby.
And that's fine. You know, family's family, man. We love including family in what we do, so that's never a problem. And then, you know, as it grows, things will. I mean, just as hosts are. I mean, this show has changed in the last 3 years. From 4 of us, Yabo was on, and then we just slowly but surely change things up, including not doing live battles during the recording of the podcast because we all learned really quickly the show comes to a halt while we're fighting.
Right.
So, I don't know of any hard changes that are going to come after that. But just know, I mean, things change as we grow. And Ibit, again, will always be welcome back anytime.
It's been an absolute pleasure being part of this for the last 3 years, and the fact that I want to kind of keep a light on, keep a light on for me every once in a while, guys, is just testament to how much fun I've had doing this show over the last 3 years. So thank you, and thank you guys listening for being here and being coming back to us week after week and supporting the show like you do. It's been cool.
Absolutely. You know what? I am going to look up one metric here that I normally don't do, but I'm very curious. I have to take a second. So Joe's translating time for Letty Jasmine. Yeah, for those of you who, like me, have to look up time changes, normally, whatever time it is for you locally, we go 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So this is just going to be a half hour later is all this will end up being.
Yeah, so 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and then the others in between.
And it's not going to change the podcast at all. It'll still come out within roughly 24 hours of recording. But no, I want to go. Crap. I clicked the wrong. Oh, and then the right button. Let's see here. Pokemon GO Podcast. And I want to look at that number right there. All right, just for giggles, right? From day zero. Whereas even though Joe, you and Bo and Patrick were doing this about once a month or so before the game came out, you guys insisted we started at show number 1 when we took over with Giant Size Team Up. And from that moment, 617,000 downloads over 3 years.
That's awesome.
That is amazing, and you guys are awesome every week downloading the show, and we thank you. And I don't know how to easily find the statistics on Twitch. We've only been on Twitch for a year, not even a year, maybe. I can't remember when we decided to go live on Twitch. But yeah, I'm sure there's some good numbers. Oh wait, they said
over 4,130 total views on Twitch.
Yep. And 372 followers. So you guys are awesome. You people are awesome as well. We just love the community, and you've been great and played with us, and I hope you will continue to play with us as we have. Of course, the other big change, we'll have guests on regularly. It's going to stay for now. It's going to stay Joe and I as the hosts, and then we're going to have regular guests each month, if not more than once a month. We'll see how that plays out. So. Anything else you want to say before we start sharing where they can find us and everything else?
I kind of did all my emotional stuff like a minute ago. I spilled all my candy in the lobby a minute ago.
It's been fun. Definitely sad to see you go, but I don't want to drag down the show a bit. So it's been happy times podcasting with you.
It's been a blast.
And for me, it's been 7 years we've been podcasting together.
Yeah.
And
right.
It only feels like 20 to you. So,
we have some breaking news.
Oh, well, what's the breaking news?
I'm sorry. So remember last week we were talking about how there was a new form for Mewtwo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just made a post about armored Mewtwo coming into the game.
Did they show a photo? Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I put it in chat, the post, and I put it on our show notes. But yeah, so Armored Mewtwo is going to start appearing in 5-star raids starting July 10th at 1 p.m. Pacific and going until the end of the month, July 31st at 1 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, this will be fun. I wonder if he's still going to be pure psychic type. I assume he will be since, well, actually it says you can encounter this psychic type Pokemon. But yeah, Armored Mewtwo. This is going to be fun.
Cool. Very cool.
And it's not just like Chief Buddington said, it's not going to be an EX raid. This is happening in 5-star raids.
That's nice. That is really cool. I guess I had to book that flight.
That's like a television ad that they posted a link to in there too. So that's you're going to be seeing this on TV.
Nice.
Wow. Cool.
So I guess I got to book that flight to Colorado now so I can actually go raid and get this thing.
So get ready. Yeah, right. So get ready for your friends and family saying, "Oh, Pokemon Go, is that still a thing?"
It is and will be for a long time. This is
Yeah,
gonna be
that's right.
awesome.
All right,
All
well,
right, I got to get myself an armored Mewtwo.
I just want to be adjacent to Tina's account because she tends to
I
get
know.
these things, right?
She gets all the shinies. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, she's
So,
very lucky with that sort of thing.
well, if you would like to have your words on the show, hit us up with show@PokemonGoPodcast.com is the email address. The voice version of that, right? You want to speak on the show like we played some voicemails today. It's PokemonGoPodcast.com. And on the right-hand side of the screen is a speak pipe tab. Any device with a microphone and up to 90 seconds, you've got a chance to leave your voicemail. We'd love to have it. Reddit's r/Pokemon Go Podcast. Facebook is /Pokemon Go Podcast. Twitter's @Pokemon Go Pod. Twitch is live, now going to be 8 p.m. Eastern. Twitch.tv/Pokemon Go Podcast every Thursday evening. And yeah, just make sure you have those follow buttons hit and you've got the notifications turned on. You'll know when we're live. The podcast can be found on every player out there, iTunes, Stitcher. We have some issues maybe with Google. We'll have to check that out. But we're definitely out there, and you can find the podcast each week posted out there. TeePublic, we've got gear. Tiny.cc/GSTU, all caps is GSTU. And actually, this weekend is the last time to get version 1 of the podcast shirt because we're going to be retiring it after our anniversary weekend. So get those shirts down. We've got some other shirts and stickers up as well. And actually, if you're not a shirt person, you like stickers, you like mugs. Mugs is the other thing we have available. Then those are there. You don't have to get it. But all 3 of those items are going to be retired with their original artwork. And Bagheera74 has an Emmett face in our Twitch chat.
Nice.
And
Nice.
shock, there happens to be a
Is there
sale.
a
going
sale?
on.
Yeah,
I was actually
there's
gonna
a
make the
sale.
joke.
No, I told you the 4th of July would definitely have a sale going on.
Except it's only 30% off. It's not 35% off.
Oh.
Rip off.
Joe, where can they find you in the universe?
You can find me at Joseph_Ard on Twitter.
You'll still be able to find me at Coverville on Twitter.
And you'll find me at Rock Out of Pod across the multiverse on all Earths that are out there in the Marvel Universe. That's just go ahead and say it now. You'll find me everywhere. And then until next week, tune in to hear Joe say.
Make sure you keep all your fingers on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. They decided not to do the bleepity bleep.
Bleepity bleep.
You forgot. It's too late. Too late, Joe.
That moment is
Fine.
over.
I forgot.
All right. So if you're live, stay tuned. If you're first time live, we're going to put a link in here. Actually, it's that Showbot link that's been floating around. And you can vote live right now if you click on that link to go vote on the title for tonight's show. Oh, I got a Piplup I got to grab. What do you mean, Warren?
That Piplup.
What? This cable, it's not the cable, I think it's the old computer, but it's charging my phone, and it keeps asking if I want to trust the computer, which means every time I ask, it's not charging. I don't know. I got to get me an Anchor charger down here. I just have to get it put down here. Let me go to the link here. Podcast/Showbot.
Plays the sad song from the
Dot
Incredible
Showbot,
Hulk
definitely.
Friend's departure.
.tv. All right. Yeah, because I don't think I have the evolution of Piplup. Yep, I'm not. I got one more candy to evolve Piplup, which I'll use one of my other ones. Okay, wow, there's a lot of things to vote for. I'm going to read them as I can. I don't know. I'm going to take some editorial freedom with this one, but Soapbox GSU still gets credit. So long, Brian, and thanks for all the Magikarp.
Yeah,
As
I
I
think
think
that's
is-
much,
yeah.
much more appropriate way to do that.
Zinzaloo puts in See You Around Space Cowboy. Joe puts in Zinzaloo as a spammer. Joe puts in John Wick tracks down people who trash shinies. Man, Joe spammed us tonight. So sad I had to come to this.
Kidding.
Brexit equals Brian exit at 2 votes. Right now, Klotz is winning at 5. Zinz, I'm not even reading that Zinzaloo, man. Not going to do it. Civilian on base says, what? Pokemon Go Podcast is evolving? That's kind of fun. I like that title.
That's funny.
Let's
Oh?
see. Plays a sad song from the Incredible Hulk for Brian's departure.
That's funny.
Ticks. It ticks to catch. Thank you, Fabian, for ticks to catch them all because I messed it up earlier in the opening.
Which only the podcast listener, like you're editing that out of the show, so only the
Probably. Well, I don't know.
live
Mike
listeners
takes some
can hear
liberties as well with his editing sometimes.
Oh, that's
So,
true. Yeah, so it might
he might leave it in.
or put at the end of the show or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. So right now, I gotta render. That's the timer. I gotta render the show out. So let me get this rendering.
And Joe, since I've added you to show graphics, show art, if one of these, and it looks like Klotz might be the one that wins it, it'll be your last opportunity to do one for me.
I put his face on it. That's cool.
That's true.
So now the timer is going. Yeah, we're not waiting 4 minutes. We'll give you another minute, everybody, to vote. But right now, it's close. It's so long, Brian,
close.
and thanks for all the Magikarp at 6. And what Pokemon Go podcast is evolving at 5. So, and both of those are good. So we'll give it another minute.
Civilian on base, and I didn't even when I was looking at that, I was like, I can't read that.
It's so hard to see
especially
this
smaller.
stuff.
Yeah, it's so much smaller in the chat window that I didn't realize there was an L in between those I's. I thought it was like Civian on. Civian on.
Yeah, and I will give a quick shout out to everybody who is here still right now. We've got Angel of Light, another TV viewer. Athena San, which Athena San is one of my friends at Pokemon Go. We send gifts all the time. Good to see you out tonight. Bagheera74, Darkwing FTH supports a lot of stuff on the network, man.
Dangerous.
I appreciate you. DOA Flippif, I think is what that says. I'm just going to read it like I want to. Doa Flippif. But I'm sure it's DOA Flippif. Epsky, Fabian, VM3, Lady Jasmine, Lurks, which I can't remember if we established Lurks as a person or Lurks as a bot. I don't remember.
I think it's a person.
Mr. Tamarine 19, which apparently I've not accepted his gift in a month.
No.
So I'm working on that. Shift Works, Civilian on Base, Spider Webs, Tade. Those two I think are bots.
Bot.
Yeah, W84I7. Wait Force, I don't know. And Yostevern is all in. Thanks, everybody. And oh, wait, there's more. Is there more? Can I scroll this thing? It shows a scroll bar, but it's not letting me scroll.
There's a moment of silence at the bottom.
Is that okay? So it wouldn't scroll for me on that, and sometimes not everybody shows up on my list. If I missed you, go ahead and sign off in the chat room, and we'll definitely recognize you. Sorry about that. All right, we've got a winner. It's going to be so long, Brian, and thanks for all the Magikarp. That's the way this is going to work.
What? Yeah, I'm going to get you some water.
No, you can't have any water.
No water for you.
Go to bed.
I'll bring it up.
No, over there.
Okay.
It's to Ryan John's house.
Okay.
Fabian wants to battle. Let's do this. All right. Well, Brian, you're welcome to leave. I'm going to do the battle live here on the stream. If you want to hang out, of course, you're welcome to. But I know you're grilling, got stuff
just
going
came
on.
off the grill 15 minutes ago. I'm going to go eat it before it gets cold. So,
all right.
See y'all.
Have fun,
Thanks
man.
for
Thanks.
everything.
I'm going to go hydrate my kids.
All right.
I'll be around.
I'm going to stick around with an empty 2 holes above me while I fight this battle. So.
That's what she said.
Oh, what? Ouch. That hurt. All right. Joe, you're going to do should I do the art or should you, are you gonna, either one of us, because I've got tomorrow available.
It's up to you.
We'll tag in the morning, see what happens.
Well, if I do it, I'm doing it tonight. So let me know.
You know what? You do it tonight. Maybe I'll add something to it. You never know.
Okay.
All right. Because that's bomb pop punishment. You do the artwork. Because you didn't bring me bomb pops.
Okay. They're rocket pops, but okay.
All right, man. You're free to drop off anytime. I'm got my hands full losing this battle.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.
All right, everybody. So, as you see the battle going on here, I don't even know if I brought in good Pokemon. I just took the suggested Pokemon that they said I should bring in, and, I'm losing. Which, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to hit it. So somebody apparently asked a question about the frame. Oh. Hey, I beat one down. Oh. CSI Blastoise. That's what we're working with here. I would win, but I got to make him feel better. Ow! Or however that goes. Eat leaves. I don't know. You're a turtle, of course you eat leaves. The real creepy god YouTube. I don't know what that stands for. But thanks you for lurking creepily. We appreciate you. That does frustrate me because I do like to recognize the people who listen and play with us and come out live. And yeah, it doesn't always give me all the names. Nidaholic, yeah, I didn't see you on the list. Thanks for speaking up. Nidaholic is here. So I'm probably going to lose this one, but it looks like it was at least close. Oh, Fabian lets me win. I'll take oh, dang. You tricked me. I didn't realize you'd taken Nida Queen out, so I thought I won that one. But I absolutely got that reward done, so thank you very much for helping me with that, Fabian. That's going to be it for the show. I've got to go get ready. Hey, if you like what I do and you want to see more of it, it's going to be less PG-13 and more Deadpool. But I'm doing Marvel Strike Force next here live. It'll be on twitch.tv/FTH Beyond. And I'm going to jump over and get that set up. But thank you for sure for sticking around. And I hope you come back again next week and all the weeks to come. Oh, yeah, there's no transition now. It's just stop. So bye.